Hello, 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 hello.
Hi.
Hey, we're here. We're back again for a whole nother week. I'm excited. I'm sure you
Yes, we are.
um we come to you today humbly asking for you guys to join us on this quest and on this journey. We call
Yes.
it uh,
Yes. 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 Yes.
um I am your girl Vicskeyas Faith. I got my girl with me, Wendy. We are here
Hi.
for a brand new episode of Size Up. Two-thirds
Yes.
of the crew. This
Yes.
again. We're gonna put this out here again, Heather. We miss you.
We
We
need
miss
you
you.
back, Heather.
We need you to come on back. Come on
The
back.
dynamic is just not the same,
It's
girl. Come
not.
on back.
Come on back
Come
to the
on
fold.
back.
Come on
Come
back to
on
the
back.
fold.
Come on back.
Come
Because we
on.
kind of need your Sagittarius energy.
We do. We need that extra opinion. You know what I'm saying? To be in the mix. Um, we are going to talk about critical race theory.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be our main topic today. Uh, I have been seeing how the media and politicians have kind of had skewered or turned this into a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they've made it an issue, a negative issue, which I don't think that it is a negative issue. It's history. It's the history of our country. And they're trying to take our Black history out of the school.
History.
Period.
History.
Right, but mainly our Black history. You know,
Look, I didn't ask you anything, Siri.
you and Siri fighting.
No,
Uh,
I mean, it just pops up. Just pops up.
yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm listening. I know you're listening.
Siri, we ain't asked you. We ain't asked you for that. So what we're trying to do, my goal is, and I wish I could have had a discussion panel. This might need to be a part one and a part two conversation
Mm-hmm.
because I do want other opinions. I do want other people to join us. Lord, football season is over for us, y'all. I'm so sad. My baby may still have some more games to play, because I think they're going to enter them into a tournament, off-season tournament. But other than that,
You're
uh,
done?
we are done. I do not have to travel far and wide all over the planet unless they say that the children got to go to practice this week,
Okay.
or whatever off tournament thing they plan on entering them in. Other than that, my life is about to be back mine, at least until the spring of at least until
Next
the
year.
spring of 2022.
Hmm.
I have not. I've been talking about the Black History podcast that I want to do. I haven't had the opportunity or the time to schedule my time to start that. Uh, I ain't had time to do nothing. God is gonna have to hold my missionary Baptist church. So I'm gonna try to get some things done that need to be accomplished on my end because I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. I'm so tired of being on a football field 4 days a week. It ain't been fun for me at all. Period. Um, but I'm grateful that my baby gets to do something that he loves to do, which is play football. He's looking at football right now. So absolutely loves the sport of football. Um, so yeah, we're gonna dive into critical race theory, but first,
Let's do some shine moments.
let's get some shine on, and we're gonna get into our hot topics uh, before
Mm-hmm.
we venture off into this. So we're gonna shine, 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 shine. And first up is Code Crew. Code Crew received a very important grant to further computer science education. Very, very, very important shout out to Mecca and Audrey and everybody over there at Code Crew here in Memphis. I'm super excited. My son started out his love for computers, I think, started way before then. But my son started in the seventh grade in a program called Code Crew. I was notified by one of his teachers about the Code Crew program. And they thought that he would do well in the program, and he actually has done phenomenal. He's created an app for Android phone. He's created video games. He's working on some different things because he loves computers and he wants to design video games once he finishes college. I don't think that any of those dreams would have been made possible had he not been a part of Code Crew. They also have an adult. They also have. Is that Siri again?
No, it's just every time I plug in my phone, it says I program it to say I'm a boss babe.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what she say? Okay. I'm extremely excited about this program. I really wish they could take the program nationwide. And maybe that's for the next generation of coders to do. They do have an adult education program as well. So say, for instance, your child does not necessarily want to do college, the full 4 years of college. They want to go ahead and get to work and get started in the work field. They have a 6-month program that will teach them what they need to do to code. Yes, for once you turn 18, you get the certificate in the program, and they help you with job placement so that you can.
I might have to talk to Joshua about that.
So it's called, I think it's called Code School, if I'm not mistaken.
6-month program. Yeah, Joshua also did a couple of years of Code Crew.
Yes.
The only reason why he's not in it now is because I get off at 4:30, and it starts at 4 o'clock.
You know, they had it at Stacks too. So
no, I did not.
Yeah, they did. I'm not sure if they still do, because they were doing some of the programs at some of the schools, and Joshua had already gone through the program. So by the time I found out it was at Stacks, he had already gone through all of the modules of the program.
I am gonna call. I'm gonna try to get in touch with them and see if they have it.
Yeah, but they had it there. So again, congratulations. Yeah, congratulations to the Code Crew. Keep getting the funding. Keep doing what you do. He's very passionate about computer science and the computer science education. They also have, I think, the STEM program for girls as well that Audrey's over. It's amazing. So make sure you guys, if y'all need something for your kids to do, Code Crew, it's a free program. I think you pay like a $10 program fee, but other than that, you get to participate in the program.
Now, if you can't afford $10, then something is wrong.
But I mean, that's all it was. That's all it ever cost me.
That's what I'm saying.
And Joshua did Code Crew, and he did Tiger Crew. Tiger Crew was the program that they did to build video games. So they taught them to further learn how to do that. And the Tiger Crew program was at the main library. In the they have a whole little area for teens and preteens at the library, at the different library locations, but at the main library. So definitely get your kids involved. If it's something that you know your children are passionate about, make sure that you foster those gifts that those babies have. Okay. Next, let me tell you this. We're gonna talk about the harder they fall. We're gonna talk about it on its own, not this week, but next week. Because I gotta watch it like 10 more times. I have watched this movie 4 times already. I love it. I am not a Western fan. My dad used to sit up and watch Westerns. I would watch it with them. My mom would watch like Bonanza and The Rifleman and shows like that. So I would watch it with them. But let me tell you something about this. There were black cowboys, and baby, this film, this is a fictional film. Okay, the story is fictional, but the characters, each person that's playing a character in this film, all of these people were real live black cowboys and girls. These were real people. So I want you guys to embrace it. There's a couple of issues, and I'm going to talk about them couple of issues, but not right now. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to point it out when we dissect it on its own. Make sure you guys are. Let me put this banner up real quick because I forget. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Size Up Official Podcast channel so that you can see it's on, and you can be with us
Also, hit the notification bell so you can get an alert every time we come on.
So you'll be alerted to what we're talking about, what we're doing. But what I wanted to point out, because we're going to dissect this film, everybody did an amazing job. I actually may watch it again when I go to bed tonight. I love it so much. The Harder They Fall did a tribute. One of the train in the movie is called the C.A. Bozeman. Deliberate tribute to Chadwick Aaron Boseman, the late Chadwick Boseman, our Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, aka just an awesome actor. Lived his life to the fullest, to the end. Had no clue that all these movies he was doing, he was sick and we didn't know. Nobody knew. He didn't want people to feel sorry for him. He didn't want to he just wanted to live out his life, and that's what he did. So they did this tribute and I was amazed. Now the train named after a black man full of white people, that was funny to me. Real funny to me. I want to make sure you guys check out The Harder They Fall on Netflix, because we want you to join in on the conversation when we talk about it next Monday, when we dissect this movie, because it is amazing. They got some one-liner zingers that I love, that I was just amazed by. It's an amazing film. I love to see a Black ensemble cast like this. So we are going to talk about it.
Does it kind of remind you of Posse? You remember Posse?
It does. It gives you that Posse. And you know what? It's not a whole bunch. Every once in a while we get a Black Western. I think about the Rose movie with all the
girls,
Stacey Dash and Lil' Kim and all of them. I think about that. But it does give you a Posse feel. I love this, and I hope that. And let me talk about this, James. Oh God, I just heard this man's name. I can't think. I thought it was James, but his name is pronounced James. It's Jeymes, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot remember his last name.
They doing extra with the names,
huh?
They doing extras with the names.
If it's James, probably wanted his name because James is basic. You know what I'm saying? That's a basic. Basic. You know,
like I saw. No, okay, before you say the James, now I saw somebody spell Erica, AIRWRECKA.
That's a lot. His name is James Samuel. He is actually, I didn't know he was British and Black. He is British and Black.
Why are they all British?
He did the film. He was the director and the producer of the film. So no, just Idris is British, honey, and Idris can be British for me any day. Okay.
Yeah, but it just amazes me how many Black actors that we really like, and they're British.
Yes, there are lots of Black British actors, and I don't know. I have no clue. The guy from All American, the main character, All American, he's British. The main character of Snowfall, he's British.
Reggae Jean Paul
is British.
Reggae Jean Paul.
Reggae. Oh.
And the dude from Get Out and the Black Messiah.
Oh my God, it's gonna come to me because I know that man's name. Daniel.
But he's British.
Kalu. I can't pronounce his last name. Daniel.
And then also the dude that played on Selma, who played Martin Luther King.
Yes,
he's British.
My guy. And I love him.
David Awelio or something like that.
I can't pronounce that name neither. But keep in mind, they got African last. All of them don't, but they have African last names because they have their African descent. A lot of them are Jamaican and British. The Black girl that's in the new James Bond movie, who was also Captain Marvel's best friend in Captain Marvel, is also Jamaican and British. I didn't even know. I had no clue. So you know, we just think about those things, and a lot of people have a problem with them coming over and getting these roles. I'm like, leave these people alone. They Black just like you and me. Okay. People experience even more tragic slavery and racism than we did. They was over there where the colonizers were. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, so make sure y'all check out The Harder They Fall. It comes on. It's on Netflix right now. It's #1 in the country right now. Make sure y'all join in with us. Join us and watch it. All right, here we go. Reality. So Wendy, you're gonna have to help me out with some of this because, like I said, I don't watch the white shows. I don't. Okay. So I am gonna need you.
Now, I didn't know that. Okay, Erica Jane had a deal with Fenty, so I was surprised about that.
Yes, so she got dropped from Fenty, and of course, we all know the situation with Tom Girardi.
Oh, dang it! I wonder. Hold on one second. My light went out. I wonder. Was it because of the Tom Girardi situation?
It's exactly because of the Tom Girardi situation.
Okay, so this is my thing about it. I can see how it would look bad for her because of the way she portrays herself on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
it does look bad. However, Tom did that. Now she's taking the fall for what he's doing because now he's claiming. Hold on. Now he's claiming he's mentally incapable of doing anything now.
So let's talk about this real quick because some of what Erica said, because I saw some of the clips from the reunion. Some of what Erica said, I can believe. Some of what Erica said, I'm side-eyeing. The $20 million that's in her account. You can't tell me you didn't know that man put that money in your account. You cannot tell me that. That man just put the money in your account. I also don't believe she does not have complete control over her money. I don't believe that either.
Well, I can kind of do.
No, because don't she have her own business? Does she not have her
own
business?
But he was controlling everything.
Houseway. That's what I'm confused about. You are an attorney. You got a whole job over here as a high-powered attorney.
Right.
You also controlling everything she doing.
And he's a rich man, so she's depending on him for everything.
I don't believe you did not know everything. That's all I'm saying to you. So, yeah, you're going to pay that price because you're attached to this man. And if you did let this man control everything, I also am side-eyeing you because how stupid can we be in 2021? I'm not letting no man control everything 100%. I need to know
the color. What's the color of her skin, honey?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't 100% believe it. We're going to get on that in a minute. I don't 100% believe that because I feel like you knew. Just like some of the women who were married to the racist men back in the day.
Are you going to watch that movie?
Huh?
Are you going to watch that movie?
Which one?
It's on Netflix. I can't think of the name. But it was about two light-skinned girls back in the 20s and 30s.
It doesn't come out until Wednesday. Passing. Yeah. Passing.
Okay.
Ruth Negga and what's my girl's name? She's in Creed. She was in Marvel.
I know who you're talking about.
Tessa Thompson. Yes. Yes, I am watching them. That's gonna be on the docket for us for It's On as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I don't 100% believe you don't know everything. That's all I'm saying. So and she should have expected this. I'm just saying that because you laying next to this man every night. You mean to tell me you knew nothing? Nothing.
And then she has songs like "It's Expensive to Be Me."
I'm just saying, I don't 100% believe it. So I do understand them dropping her because they want to separate themselves from scandal as much as possible. You're attached to this person. You know, you getting a divorce now, but you're attached to this person. So, all right. Did you see Nene on The Real?
I saw the clip. I didn't see. I don't watch The Real.
I don't really. So since they got, let me say this. Tamar got on my nerves, but I liked her on the real. And since that whole kerfuffle with the real, I just have not. It hasn't been the same to me. No shade to any of the other ladies that are on the show. I'm sure y'all do a good job on the clips that I do watch on the YouTube. Y'all do y'all job or whatever. But I really love the dynamic between them and Tamar. I did. I'm sorry, I did. Absolutely did. And I love Tamar in that position. And that show was Tamar's idea. That's the other thing. And then y'all fired the person who came up with the idea. I just don't, yeah. So I didn't appreciate how they did her. I did not at all. I didn't like how they did it. I didn't appreciate how they did it. However, Nene had an interview with the ladies on the real, and they asked her some questions, and one of the questions came up about if she would return to Real Housewives of Atlanta. She said she's not opposed to returning. A lot of people took this out of context. Here again, this is when people ask you a question and you answer the questions they asked you. She said first she would have to talk to Andy. They have to have a candid conversation and get on the same page before she ever stepped foot on the set for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because
Andy, take note, Andy, because you need Nene back.
You do need Nene back. I don't know how this new season gonna pan out, but you need Lanithia Leaks. I'm telling you, you do. So that's what she said. I don't think she's run out of money. Her lounge is doing wonderful, from my understanding. I got a friend who personally have visited the Lanithia Lounge, and it's jumping.
And I wonder if Greg has left her some money too.
He probably did. Greg probably did. Greg was a very prestigious businessman prior to retiring, prior to going through the health issues that he was going through. So I'm pretty certain that Greg did. I'm pretty certain he made sure his family was taken care of. I know she put the house up for sale. A lot of people think it's a money grab for that as well. I don't think it's a money grab. I think she don't want to be in no house where her husband died. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, it took me about 6 months after Ren passed before I moved out of the apartment. Yeah. Even though he didn't die in the apartment, right. But you know, he passed in the hospital. Yeah. Right. So I was like, no, okay.
Right. So she merely asked a question. And she asked the question and she answered it. So I don't think she ever said that she would never go back. She just pointed out the issues that she had with Bravo, which were very valid issues that she had. So y'all, I would like to see Nene back. I don't know about anybody else. Then she also said she got a little unfinished business with some of the people who were confirmed for this upcoming season. I don't know if that was in reference to Sheree, Kenya, or Candy. I know she's very appreciative of Candy, you know, Candy helping out during or sending condolences and everything during Greg's passing. So, but I don't know. I'm not sure where the shade is, but we will see. We'll see how that goes. Carol Baskin.
She did it. She killed her.
I always say she did because I believe she did. I might have misspelled her name too. Carol is suing Netflix over the footage for season 2 of The Tiger King. Now, The Tiger King is still premiering on November the 17th, from my understanding, on Netflix. But Carol said, I didn't give y'all permission to use whatever footage that she's using. There was no permission to give. She said, my child, Lord God. You see, Josh, get off. Yeah, she killed. I'm glad he's on YouTube, though. I'm really glad he's on the YouTube station.
She killed her husband. She whacked him. Fed him to the tigers. They snacking.
Right.
What's happening?
Right. But she is. I don't know what the footage is that she is not appreciative of them showing. But whatever the footage is, Carol said, So she's apparently suing Netflix. We're still probably going to see it. But yeah. RHOP takeover. You said you don't watch The Real.
No. I know. Was it somebody didn't show up? Wendy didn't show up on
Wendy
her.
did not. Wendy's baby had to be rushed to the hospital, so she could not go. So Ashley was on there by herself. What I want to point out for Wendy, not for Wendy, I'm sorry, for Giselle. Giselle threw shade towards Candace and towards Wendy. And she's continuing to throw shade, and people are interviewing her. And this is, let me say this, in true I told you so form, okay? Last season, it appeared that Giselle and Wendy and Candace and Robin and everybody was all cool. But then Monique
they got the common denominator out, which was Monique, and now it's
they're coming for you and Candace like they did Monique. And here's the thing.
And see, I think Giselle was jealous of. Stop it, Siri. I think Giselle was jealous of Monique from the beginning.
I think she was.
Because especially when she was like, are you homeless? She said, no, honey, I got 5 homes.
Right.
I just don't have a home here.
Right.
And when she said 5 homes, she was like,
right. And you still fixing on your home.
They look a hot mess.
Oh, Jesus. So yes, she threw real shade. So I think the game was party, mop the floor with, or get rid of, or something like that. She would party with Karen, because she said Karen is a good time, especially when she drinking. She would get rid of Candace, I believe, because I think she said something about Candace's smell. And then she said she would mop the floor with Wendy, because obviously Wendy has a problem with her. She's jealous of her. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G.
Why would Wendy be jealous of her? She has the husband.
And she said Wendy is obviously insecure because she had to go get surgery. Now, tell me this, Giselle. I know you don't watch the podcast or listen. I just have a question. And I like Giselle. Keep in mind, I absolutely like Giselle because Giselle stirs the pot up to keep the drama going. So I do like Giselle. I just have to call her on her stuff sometimes. Giselle, you had a little turkey neck situation going on not too long ago. I don't see the turkey neck anymore. Did you get surgery to get that fixed? I just want to know. This lady told y'all why she had surgery. She said her kids are very small. I think the boy, she had a back-to-back, and then she had the baby probably a couple of years apart, 2 years down the line. But she had the baby. So she done. They got their 3 kids. They done. So she said, my titties was hanging. There was some things about my body I wanted to take care of. And I did. It shouldn't be no problem.
And it's not like she has a big, audacious butt.
No,
she got the butt that looks right for her body shape. Because, some of these women that get these BBLs, they look like wisdom teeth.
Oh, Jesus.
AKA Kim Kardashian.
I would say Kenya, but
Oh, yeah, Kenya too. Kenya, and she swears up and down she ain't got no butt lift. Come on.
Yeah, Kenya, you got that done, honey. And it's okay. It's all right that you got it done.
Because a lot of people in Atlanta get them done.
They do. The doctors.
I mean, Escape. Members of Escape. Tiny in the one of the other ones. I'm like, come on now.
Listen.
It looks ridiculous.
Understand this. I'm not going to have my butt done because I think my butt is big enough. But this fat is coming out of my stomach. I just want y'all to know, as soon as I get the coin to make do what needs to be done, the fat is coming sucked up out my stomach. I don't care. And these bat wings, y'all can't see them today because I got them covered up. They're going. That's what I need fixed with my body. Everything else is fine. I can exercise to get everything else where I need it to be. I just don't want those two things. They need to go. Okay.
Girl, I got that weighted hula hoop, that infinity hoop. I just figured out how to do it. When I tell you, it works not only my midsection, but my thighs.
Yeah.
I was, they say if you do it 3 days a week for 30 minutes a day,
Mm-hmm.
you will see results. I'm like, how y'all doing it for 30 minutes? I'm trying to do it for 5, and it's hard for me to do it for
She's
5 minutes.
yeah. Candace also has been talking about the fact that she feels like there's a colorism issue on the set. Because of the fact that every time she or Wendy is saying something, it's known as aggression. But if Mia or Giselle or Robin says anything else, they're not looking at that as an aggressive type of situation.
Now,
Go ahead.
I want to say this.
Okay.
Um, I want to say this. I think she doesn't realize her mouth.
Her
Candace
mouth is
doesn't realize.
powerful. It's
So
really
yes,
powerful.
she is aggressive with
It's
her mouth, verbally
She goes for the
aggressive.
jugular. She really does go for the jugular.
And so, oh Lord, I just like her mouth, and I can't wait to see it tonight, the reunion.
Yes, part 1 of the reunion will be tonight on
And
Bravo.
Andy
Make sure
is
y'all watch it.
saying,
We'll be
well,
reviewing it
she said,
tomorrow.
I realize that all of the common denominator is you. You got
But
you got you got physically you got physically he said you got physically assaulted last season because of your mouth. Do you
which
not think
goes
it's
to
not
show
gonna happen to
that
you
an
again?
apology is needed for Monique.
Yep.
Just gonna put that out there. I really, really am. Um. Okay. Well, if y'all haven't caught it, they have all of the clips from the RHOP takeover on YouTube. So make sure y'all check it out at the Real Daytime on YouTube. Do you know anything about this, Wendy?
The Real Housewives of Dubai. I cannot wait. And one of the girls, I don't know which one it is. It's from the Ladies of London. It was a show on Bravo called Ladies of London. They
Mm-hmm.
had some American women's there,
Mm-hmm.
and coincide with
Mm-hmm.
the London people. But
Okay.
what I didn't know that the Real Housewives like of Auckland, and they had one in Westchester,
They
and
did. I saw that. One
yeah.
of those are on Hulu, and I can't think of which one it is.
But that's not part of Bravo's franchise.
Really?
Right, because he said this is our first international housewives show. The other ones are not Bravo's franchise.
Interesting.
Interesting. Interesting. They got Real Housewives of South Africa girl.
Yeah, I saw that's on Hulu as well. I
Really?
think so. Don't quote me
Oh,
on that, but I think that's on Hulu too.
okay,
Oh my
okay,
God.
okay. But yeah,
If not, it's
so
on YouTube. I know it's definitely on YouTube because that's where I caught some of those episodes on YouTube.
okay, so definitely they're gonna be it's gonna premiere in 2022.
I can't wait.
And I can't wait because
Because I think
when
they're
you
going to give us true housewife. They're going to give
because
us
let me tell you, because the Real Housewives started in Orange County.
Yeah.
And that's all you saw was the lavish lifestyle
That's
and
what
everything.
I
And
can't wait.
people was going for that. But now we're coming up with housewives who are going through lawsuits who don't really are not a housewife. They was a housewife. Some of them have never been married. And I'm like, what?
Or they're divorced.
Right.
So I'm excited about this. I cannot wait to see it. I want to go to Dubai. Maybe one.
I
I
want to go
thought
to
that
Dubai too.
I would love to relocate. I probably wouldn't be no insurance agent if I did. Probably would make buku money. Do they have insurance agencies in Dubai?
I have a classmate. He graduated in 93. I graduated in 94. His wife, their children are graduated college. No, one is in college, one just graduated
You
college.
talking about the DJ?
Yeah, DJ
Yeah,
Nin.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah, they went over to
yeah. I
Dubai.
know. They live there. They live in
they don't live there no more. They live somewhere.
Where they live now?
They don't live in Dubai. They had because when he came back, because they came back for like 3 months or something. Then they said, yeah, they moved like towards Greece up there, but it's still it's still African.
So it may be so it's the UAE, it's Dubai, and it's something else right there in the area. So they may be in the UAE. That's probably what they are. Which
but he was showing us. Right, but DJ Lynn, he's a Pharaoh. He graduated in '93, and so and he was showing us they had the food that we do over here. The grocery stores had the stuff that we have over here, and he said there is no crime in Dubai because everybody's rich.
Everybody rich. What I gotta commit a crime for when all of us is balling? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Dubai. I think I'm going to look into that. I read an article, and we're going to move on, where this teacher, she and her husband were struggling. They had 3 kids. She was a teacher over here. I can't remember what it was that he did. But whatever it was, they could live over in Dubai. Now, keep in mind, they ain't got no taxes or nothing either. Let's go there. So she got her money, put in her pocket. Healthcare is universal. So her kids got to go to private school. She taught. Her salary as a teacher in Dubai is $300K. Okay?
I need to teach in Dubai.
Nigga. Okay? So she and the husband got a divorce because the husband did not want to go. He wanted to stay here. He was like, but we ain't gonna get to see our. We can come back and visit them. We gonna make the money to where we can get on the plane and come back home. Okay? He didn't want to, so she's in a better place financially. I don't know if they did a follow-up on where the husband was now, but her and them 3 kids over there, and she's living her life like it's golden, okay? I'm not against moving. I'm not. I really am not. I know I want to open an agency here, but I need to investigate and see what it would take. Do they do female insurance agents? And if they do, I'll wear the little hijabi, whatever, over there, and I will live and make bukus of money because they got cars. You know what I'm saying? They live lavish, and I'm with it. I'm real with it. Okay, we're gonna move on. But Real Housewives of Dubai, we'll let you guys know. I'm sure we'll be reviewing this show on its own and maybe talking about NBC that we get over here on our reality segment on the Size Up. So I can't wait. We'll talk about the list of cast members. I looked at them, but I didn't write it down. But we'll talk about once we get closer to the premiere of the show. All right, here we go. Let me say this. The double standards are amazing.
It is.
Kyrie Irving is not vaccinated. They have villainized Kyrie Irving, but then we find out Aaron Rodgers ain't vaccinated neither. Now listen, they asked this man, was he vaccinated? He skated past the question by saying he was immunized.
Right.
I'm immunized. But nobody's making him out to be the villain that he truly is because Aaron, you ain't vaccinated, bro. You're not vaccinated. There's no vaccination for you. No, you're not vaccinated at all. So now the NFL is trying to scuffle to see. I think he's gonna miss. I think he's missing today's game, and then he'll miss next week's game, whatever that is, because he has to quarantine for 10 days because he actually caught COVID.
So and then he probably infected some of his team members.
Here's what I don't understand. How is it that y'all have all these protocols and things in place, but y'all ain't asking to see nobody's cards as proof that they got vaccinated? Is that not a requirement in the NFL? They're making a requirement in the NBA. So I'm super confused about how that works and how they're doing that and dealing with that as far as these players are concerned. Now, let me say this again. I do not push the vaccination on anybody. There are plenty of people that vaccination ain't on the table for, or they don't think that vaccination is something that they need to do, but they are following all the COVID protocols. However, you're in a job where you're amongst people that you can possibly infect, and y'all are in close proximity to each other. So my other issue with this is that who is right and who is wrong in as far as the vaccination thing, because I know a lot of the jobs, and I think the bill has gotten stalled or the mandate has been stalled right now because there are corporations who have people who are um, working in areas where it's 100 people or more. They're requiring that they have, the vaccination. That they're trying to make that a requirement, but it's an issue, if you will, right now, because a lot of people say, okay, well, y'all think the economy is messed up right now. It's about to be even more messed up because here we are not trying to be vaccinated because y'all are telling us to get this vaccine. So I think it's ironic. I hate that they have villainized Kyrie Irving because he's not getting the vaccine. But Aaron Rodgers just said, I'm going to get some Invermectin or whatever that stuff is called that they give to the horses. You know how they've been doing. And I'm gonna be fine. I'm not gonna get COVID at all because I'm gonna take the horse stuff. Wendy, what do you think about that?
Double standard.
It is a double standard. It is a true
and I just
they called Stephen A. Smith out because Stephen A. Smith was crucifying Kyrie Irving when he found out that Kyrie was not planning on getting a shot, but he ain't said nothing about Aaron Rodgers. And so everybody has been calling Stephen A. Smith out, and rightfully so, because this white man needs the same crucifixion that Kyrie has got. Just my thoughts on it. Just my thoughts on it. That's it. That's all. But Aaron lied. That's the other thing. Let's also not forget, Kyrie said, I'm not getting the shots. Okay.
He may have thought it in. They probably think that he may thought it in his head that he was immunized. You know how them folks be saying they immunized and stuff.
That man told the lie. Okay. Him lied. He lied about getting the vaccination, sir. Sir. You lied. I'm immunized. Polio, I'm good on. I ain't got to worry about no polio. I ain't got to worry about no measles. I ain't got to worry about the chicken pox. I'm immunized. Immunized. We're not talking about the regular immunizations. They asked you, were you vaccinated from the COVID-19 virus? You lied, sir. He needs to be crucified even the more. If y'all gonna do something for one, you need to do it for the other as well. So Stephen A. Smith, you owe Kyrie an apology, and you need to do the same. Keep that same energy for Aaron, okay? That's how I feel. Next. All right. Henry Ruggs III. Did you see this? This is so sad.
It was.
Henry Ruggs III is a wide receiver for the oh God.
He was. The operative word was
the Las Vegas Raiders, because it doesn't feel right. Go back to Oakland. The Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. He was driving in his Camaro 156 miles per hour. He was going 121 when he hit the back of this lady's Toyota RAV4. The Toyota RAV4 caught on fire. She died. She and her dog died. He was visibly shooken by the accident. He was very distraught, caught off guard.
Was he injured as well?
It was minor injuries.
Nothing. And see, this is where my theory comes in. Whenever I be riding with somebody long distance,
and
if I'm not driving, if I'm on the passenger seat, I will fall asleep. It is a defense mechanism because if your body's at a relaxed state,
Right.
your chances of survival is high.
Right. Right.
And you know, I used to get dogged. You
Right.
always going to sleep. It's a defense mechanism.
Right. Absolutely.
If I'm not driving, because I can trust myself driving, because
Correct.
I can watch for other people and everything. But if I'm not driving and we're going for, say, somewhere like Nashville, Chattanooga, anywhere, you best believe for at least an hour or two, I'm gonna be asleep.
Well,
It's a defense
let's
mechanism.
also talk about the fact that he was very clearly drunk.
Yes.
His
And
blood
drunk people,
alcohol. His,
and that was my basis of my theory. If you think about it, whenever somebody gets hit by a drunk driver,
yeah.
the drunk driver is the one that's always surviving because he's so drunk, he's relaxed.
Yeah.
You know, my supervisor Sharon Simmons was killed by a drunk driver.
I remember you telling me that. His blood alcohol level was 0.161, which is double the legal limit for your blood alcohol level. Um, your all of your faculties are gone when you're that drunk. He's lost his job as a wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. I have to
Mm-hmm.
keep it doesn't feel right, y'all. Um, so he's lost his job. Um, and he faces 20 years in prison right now. They don't do probation in Nevada, in the state of Nevada, for DUI charges. They don't do that. So even if this is his first charge, if they find him guilty, he going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
He going to jail. He might have a suspended sentence or a reduced sentence, but he's gonna have that felony on his record. This lady died.
I know this is off the subject. Do you remember when HBO used to have the little short stories about the true lives of people?
Yeah.
Okay, did you ever see the one about the guy who was driving drunk and killed this girl? So the parents asked the man to send them to write them a check for $1 every week for the amount of years he was sentenced to prison. Each
Mm-hmm.
week he had to write a check,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to just write just a check, that many checks, and just send it. They was like, no, you
No,
gotta do it each
every
week
week. Yeah.
so you can remember what you did.
I
That
think,
was
but here's the
powerful.
thing too. I think that he's going to remember that he's only 22 years old. That's gonna stick with him. And if they send him to jail and he spends 20 plus years in jail, he's
He'll be
definitely
restored.
gonna remember that. But that doesn't leave you. Brandy, I remember when Brandy's, she was not drunk when she hit the lady. And she sent the money to the family. She covered the funeral. She did everything she was supposed to do. But that still haunts her to this day. That's still something
And,
that she deals with.
and and somebody try to compare this accident to the one that Bruce Jenner, when you remember when he hit somebody and killed somebody, and but he was not drunk.
I think Bruce just don't need to be. I mean, Caitlyn don't need to be driving no more. I think that's what Caitlyn was going through something, y'all. But Caitlyn probably needs drivers. Here's my thing, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it here. We are in 2021. You got Uber, you got Lyft. There's some other
Mm-hmm.
rideshare programs that you can participate in. He has money
Mm-hmm.
to hire a driver. He can get Pookie and Ray Ray from the hood to take him to where he needs to go. You
Mm-hmm.
always y'all got entourages now. When y'all get rich and famous, you pull Pookie, Ray Ray, Skilo, whoever from the hood, and they come and be a part of your entourage. You can pay your homeboy to drive you around when you are drunk. If you know you've been partying and you've been drinking, you can pay your homies to drive you around. They just can't get drunk with you. You know what I'm saying? Or if y'all gonna do that, stay your butt at the house. I'm right now, I am side eyeing all of the children, not the grown folks, but children. Some of y'all grown folks don't know how to act either. But children with your infinities, with the drive out tags, with your Challengers and your Chargers and now your Camaros. I'm side-eyeing all of you because y'all don't know how to act in a sports car. Y'all want to get the sports car so y'all can drive 100 and some miles per hour. Eating. Sir. Sir.
Yep.
So I feel bad for him because he's so young. His career is over at this point. Like, I don't think there's no coming back from this. You're gonna have to do something, maybe coach something down the line. But right now, your career is over. Your career is over because of a mistake that you made that you can't take back. You can't. So I don't appreciate people who are out here DUIing it up. It does not make sense. Okay, you're affecting us.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the next slide, please.
All right. Here we go. Our niece in my head is graduating from Texas Southern University. I am super excited. You know what? I messed it up in the hashtag. I got to go back and fix that. I put the X by the S instead of the T because it's Texas Southern. Because we got TSU. You have TSU, which is the real TSU, which is here in Nashville, Tennessee State University, and then you have Texas Southern. Texas Southern is TXSU. I think I got that right. I'm not sure. But she is finally graduating from Texas Southern University with her degree in healthcare administration. She took these pictures. She'll be graduating in December, but she took some graduation pictures. I couldn't get all of them. I love them all. I love Megan Thee Stallion. I do. Everybody who knows me knows that I love her. But I'm very proud of her in this accomplishment. I know it took a little longer for her to do it because she's also in the music industry. And she's also been doing her thing on that side of it. So congratulations to Megan Thee Stallion. And I you know what? I really want to look. I slick want to go to the graduation. I know they probably got tickets and stuff, but I slick want to go to the graduation and be like, "Hey, Megan!" That's just me. I'm just bad like that. But congratulations to Megan Thee Stallion for getting ready to graduate and following those dreams. Okay,
Congratulations. Yes, it's been on TikTok.
So let's talk about this real quick. Astro World Festival. Travis Scott was, I guess, the headliner for Friday night. I don't know if he was headlining 2 nights or just the one. I don't know if they do it like Coachella because I'm not sure how all festivals work. But Travis Scott was the headliner. Apparently there was a crowd surge. It was really, really bad because people were trying to get close to the stage. And they were crowding the stage area, and it got to the point to where there was a stampede. Now there were rumors going around saying that somebody injected folk with drugs.
Oh yeah, that's not a rumor.
Well, there's only one report from at the real sites that I saw from CNN that a security guard did get injected with the drug, but nobody else. The 8 people that got killed, they got killed specifically from the crowd surge, and for them or them actually crushing them.
And then I heard there was something laced as well. Oh, girl, it was just so much.
But none of those made like the major news sites, so I didn't really go with that. I only wanted to go with what actually happened, which was the crowd stampede, because they had too many people at this festival. Let's just be clear.
But I was watching on the news this morning on the Today Show, Sunday Today, and they had the chief of police for the Houston department. Department, and he was talking about how the security guard got injected, and he did say other people was stuck with the needles.
See, I didn't see that part. And
it was fentanyl. It was fentanyl.
It was what?
Fentanyl. Well, I guess
that's the drug that killed Michael Jackson
and Prince.
Okay, so in that part, like I said, I don't know that that's why the crowd was doing what they were doing. They had a lot of people out there. So there's no way that between the back of the crowd and the front of the crowd, you would have known that somebody was going around injecting people with whatever they were injecting people with. Everybody that died or that were hospitalized as a result of this were trampled on, and they died from asphyxiation, or they were smothered, or whatever that situation looks like.
And this is the sickening part, because you saw videos on TikTok of people going up to the stage saying, "Get help, get help." Some, people are
Yeah,
dying back there. Get
yeah.
help. And they kept continuing with the show.
He did. So here's the thing too. Travis stopped a little bit in the thing, because they showed a video of him I saw a video of him saying, "Hey, y'all need to get help." But he kept going. And I don't understand why he kept going, because that would have stopped my show. My show would have been completely stopped until people got help. I would have told the crowd to back. There are certain things that I felt like he should have done as an artist to take responsibility. Now, let me also say this. This is not the first incident of him having a performance at a festival where people have gotten trampled. Okay? This is not my first time hearing it. It was two festivals, one in 2017, where a crowd got trampled on. And I want to say in 2015 as well, where a crowd, because he was encouraging the people to rush the stage. Okay.
And then this is also Kylie Jenner. She was there.
Yes, Kylie was there, and I think Kendall was there as well.
Okay, so why did she post live feeds on Instagram Live about, showing folks laying on the ground and stuff like that?
I'm sorry. I had to mute myself because doors was opening over here. She posted a video of people being laid down.
Yep.
And why would she say she didn't know? Okay, because her statement that she released said she did not know that there were fatalities. But if somebody laying out in the middle of the ground, yeah, no, I can't get with that, Kylie. I can't get with it.
She got some backlash. People was like throwing away her stuff.
Backlash.
Throwing away her stuff. I would not support you anymore. So,
well, I didn't support her no way. But this might be bad for Travis. I think this is my thought process.
And then he wrote a statement saying that he was extremely devastated.
I did see that. He also did a Instagram live post as well, talking about his devastation.
You can save your devastation.
Yeah. All right. I gotta pull this article up again. So there's a lawsuit.
What's up with the picture?
I'm about to tell you.
Because I was about to say, baby shark.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So, Oklahoma inmates are suing the sheriff department because not only are they claiming cruel and unusual punishment, and these guys were in pre-trial jail, not in like jail. They hadn't been sentenced yet, but they were beaten, they were tortured. But the biggest torture they're saying that they had was while they were being beaten and tortured, they had Baby Shark on a continuous plane.
I'm sorry.
I hate Baby Shark too. I want y'all to understand how much I despise the Baby Shark. Okay, I despise Baby Shark 100% wholeheartedly. I hate that song. I hate it. My niece was a toddler when this was a thing for real, and everybody was doing the Baby Shark thing, and they had the show and everything. And she wanted Baby Shark when her tablet died. That was the
best day. Best day of your life.
Cause sis was like, listen, I want to watch the Baby Shark, and what you gonna do is turn Baby Shark on. That I was like, hey, come get your kid now, cause she's wilding out. I cannot do this anymore. I just can't.
My 4-year-old great niece used to love Baby Shark. So it used to drive me crazy. Now, let it go.
Oh, she on that now? I hated that too for a long while.
And I was told last week for Halloween that I was not pretty because I was not dressed like Elsa.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. She said she was pretty because she was dressed like Elsa.
She was dressed like Elsa.
But I'm not pretty because she like, but you're not pretty, Auntie. You're not pretty, TT, because you're not dressed like Elsa.
Right. So the bigger issue here is the police brutality that they experienced while they were in pretrial motions, and so I think they have an argument. But each and every one of them said these folks was playing Baby Shark while they was getting their tail beat in the prison and in the jail. So I hope they win. I really hope they win their lawsuit. I hope they do. Because Baby Shark is inhumane. Baby Shark is inhumane treatment. I want y'all to know, okay? I'm not for Baby Shark. All right. Congrats to
I'm gonna laugh at Dewan. I'm sorry.
what he do?
Cause he was riding on the Cowboys because we lost to the Broncos.
Listen, when San Francisco is 6-2, I need him to holler at me. Before then, I don't know if they are or not.
They're not because the Cardinals got them 31-7.
I need him to stop. If your team is not 6-2, I need this energy. I need y'all to keep that energy to yourselves. We are 6-2. Next week we got the Falcons. We're gonna whoop them. I can't remember who else we got. We're gonna whoop them. We good. We're going to the playoffs. We straight. Y'all right. Y'all might have to do the what they call it? What is it? The week when the some of the loser teams that might be close and they don't know if they gonna make it. They might have to do that Saturday right there to see if they gonna make it to the playoffs. We already in that bad boy. I'm not concerned. Okay, we 6-2. If we was 3-4 or 3-5 or 2 whatever, then I'd be like, okay. Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Congratulations
for winning the World Series championship game. Y'all have not won one since 1995. Y'all beat the Houston Astros, who, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Astros won either last year or the year before last. They won the World Series and they beat them. They beat the incumbent, if you will. So congratulations to Atlanta Braves. I know Atlanta was jumping when that happens. I'm glad because some of my shows can come back on Tuesdays that I watch on Fox. So thank you very kindly for going ahead and putting them out of their, misery. But congratulations to you guys for winning. So listen, Will Smith got this book, right? That's coming out. I think it's coming out with the YouTube show and the movie that we are also going to review called King Richard. But this man is revealing a lot. A couple of things that he revealed in the book. One thing that he contemplated suicide. I think I mentioned that last week. The other thing was he felt like he's failed every woman in his life. And I think that goes back to the abuse that his dad inflicted upon his mom. He was not cool with his dad at all. His dad, Willard Smith Sr., he was not cool with Willard because Willard was abusive towards his mom. And so he ended up having to take care of his dad in his dad's last days. His dad died from cancer, but his dad was living with him while he was, going through treatment and everything. He ended up having to take care of his dad. He thought, I'm willing this man past this staircase. I can just go and just push him on over down these steps and he could die. He had those thoughts. He had that contemplation because he was thinking, I want to avenge my mom for the abuse she put her through. But the most fascinating thing was that when Will was shooting 6 Degrees of Separation, he was married to Cherie at the time. Will had a real big crush, so much so that he was in love with old Stockton Shannon, aka Rizzo.
I can stay home every night. Right around for me.
Listen, this woman is like, I don't know how old Starker was at the time, but I know Will had to have been in his 20s at the time when he did that movie, 6 Degrees of Separation. Oh my God, he spent a lot of time with Stockton Channing when they were filming this movie.
I was willing to bet that she flirted with him a lot.
She probably did. But you spent a lot of time. They didn't have any love scenes because his character was gay. So I don't even understand where the correlation meets up. I don't get how you could have been like, you know what? I'm in love with you. I don't get that part. But I do understand when you're doing method acting, how Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm going to use them as an example. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt ended up breaking up Brad Pitt's marriage with Jennifer Aniston because they fell in love on the set. But I don't get how he fell in love with Stalker Chin. I really don't, because y'all weren't intimately involved on the set. Y'all didn't have to be in love with one another. So I didn't get it. But he did reveal that he was madly in love with Stalker Channing. So he said he has to be careful whenever he does this method acting thing that he does when he tries to get into character. Interesting. That's all I got to say. Really interesting. I'm going to get his book because I'm interested in knowing T. You know, I want all of said T. So I think I'm going to get this book. It might be downloaded on Audible. Eve says she is Queens because she has to focus on her pregnancy and make sure that she carries her baby to term, which is understandable. However, I did not realize that Queens only got a 13 episode order from ABC. They started this past month in October, like October 18th. So they only had 3 episodes. They're going into episode 4. So this should probably carry us through the holiday season, maybe early January. I don't know how that's going to work, if they take a break or what have you. But they got it set up to where if Eve wants to come back into the fold, she can. But she is going to be in the majority of the episode. I'm excited to see it, but I'm glad that she's taking that break that she needs. Here we go.
Okay. Why? Okay.
Robert Sarver, who is the owner of the Phoenix Suns, has new allegations against him as it regards to being racist and misogynistic. Former employees and current employees of the Phoenix Suns organization have said on multiple occasions they have heard Sarver use the N-word. On one occasion, on October the 30th, 2016, I think. Well, is it? Yep. I don't even think that date right, because the playoffs and the championships are normally okay. We'll get to that in a minute because that don't even make sense. But on one of the games in the championship in the year of 2016, we're gonna go with that because I don't think it was October the 30th. The coach at the time, Earl Watson, who is Black and Latino, was the coach at the time. Said that Draymond Green was using the N-word while he was playing basketball the whole game. However, one of the players on the Suns team had gotten reprimanded and actually got a technical foul as a result of using the N-word on the same court. So Sarver, having a conversation with Watson, said, "You know why Draymond Green gets to run up and down the court and says the N-word, but he actually said nigga." And he was white, and he kept repeating it multiple times. Watson said, "You can't say that." He was like, "Why?" Draymond Green says it. He said, "You can't even say it." So there was another situation where he was in. He wanted Lindsey Hunter to be the head coach, and he said, "Those niggas need a nigga." That's what he said. There's another incident where he was showing pictures of his wife in a bikini, and just giving all kinds of misogynistic comments as far as that. But he's parading his wife's bikini picture all over the organization. You know, a lot of people say he was hard to work for. They said he was, he was awful. He was hard taskmaster. Now, of course, he does have some people who say he's not racist. They've never heard him use this language. He said he doesn't use the word. He only used it one time. What do you think about this, Wendy?
I don't.
What you mean you don't?
I don't. I mean, he's irrelevant to me. I mean, I'm like, he's a racist. He is racist. And I'm like, I'm not surprised. None of this surprised me. You
I
know,
got you.
of you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it seems like it's on repeat all the
Yeah,
time. If it's
yeah,
not the NFL, it's the NBA. If it's not the NBA, I bet she's gonna be the baseball league, the
yeah. Which
NBA.
they've had incidents with the baseball
And
league
I'm
before.
like, and then the hockey. Well, hockey and
Yeah,
soccer. I mean, I'm over it.
I got you. I think I don't know if he has a case, but the NBA is currently investigating the situation. I'm definitely gonna keep my ears to the streets about this. Here we go. Critical race theory. Um, probably about probably about 30 minutes. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so critical race theory. Um, and I want to give a definition of it. And like I said, we're gonna have a in-depth
Oh,
conversation about
I
it.
can pull it up if you want me to.
I got it. Uh, um, here's the definition. Definition is critical race theory is a body of legal scholarship and an academic movement of U.S. civil rights scholars and activists who seek to examine the intersection of race and U.S. law and to challenge mainstream American liberal approaches to racial justice. It examines cultural, social, and legal issues primarily as they relate to race and racism in the United States of America. Um, this is something that people are arguing right now. It's one a governor in in Virginia. They no longer have a Democratic governor. They have a Republican governor who has run his race on coming against critical race theory. So
Mm-hmm.
one, and because the Democrats aren't really making any headway, as so to speak, as far as legislature is concerned, they just passed a big piece of legislature, but it's taking a little long. We got midterms going on for them to do what they need to do. It has not been effective. The infrastructure bill has been a big thing that's been on the table since Biden has been in office. They're just now getting it passed. It actually got declined or voted against in the House. The Senate voted for it. They were able to get some Republicans on their side in the Senate. But the bigger picture is the critical race theory. Now, I made a post earlier this week about critical race theory, and I made the post on my page, and I had a sole white person respond.
Really?
I did.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Tell me.
Let me go to the post because the black people were giving it to her, and I couldn't. Oh, okay. I thought I had sent that message to Paul. I'm glad I came back over here. So let me pull that post up. It was a very big discussion on my page. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked for more people to participate in the discussion, but hey, we have
Mm-hmm.
lives and whatnot. It
Mm-hmm.
was earlier this week because I did learn of the Republican governor making the Republican governor doing winning because he did win on the premise of uh, coming against critical race theory. Let me pull it up. Okay, so I said, when you think of critical race theory, what comes to mind? So the sole person said
Is
something.
this on your Facebook?
It's on my Facebook page. It says something that causes more division. So of course they lit into her real quick. One of my friends was saying, "Hey, you ain't got time to be going back and forth with that person." Um, so basically, the premise everybody was saying, it's to teach the history of the United States. And it is. It's the true history of what's kept us down. Now, a lot of people are saying, I did have one person who says it's more liberal influence talking points to distract us from real progress. But here's my thing. My dad said it all the time. If you don't know where you came from, you cannot move forward, not successfully. You have to know what's going on, and for us to be better society wise, for us to be better, for us to come, everybody has to take accountability and responsibility for what it is. We are responsible. And let me back up. We're not responsible for educate, because Google is free.com. Okay. It's not my responsibility to educate all my white friends or friends of other cultural backgrounds and races on what it is.
Oh yeah, they dragged her.
Yeah, they did. And it's never my intent for people to get dragged on my posts. I do posts like this all the time on my Facebook page. It's definitely never my intent for that to happen or for that to take place. But on the flip side of this, I do not think critical race theory is a divisive tool. It's a way to teach kids that, hey, racism existed in this country. And it still exists, because in certain places, here's my issue with the argument against critical race theory. They don't want the white kids to feel offended by the color of their skin.
Hey,
the argument they gave here in Tennessee.
Hey, tough doo-doo. I'm sorry. I mean, if it's not, I mean, come on now. Come on. You have to really, this is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous because, so you want to erase our history to make your kids feel better.
That's basically what I got out of it. I watched a news report on CBS News. It's online. It's called The Trial of Critical Race Theory. They followed a teacher, and I can't remember if he was in the state of Tennessee or not, that got fired for teaching about racism. He said it's never been a problem in the past. All of a sudden, it's a big deal. And not only do they not want you to teach about racism, this is the thing. When you open up one door, many doors open up at this point. You're going down a rabbit hole at this point. They also don't want you to teach about sexism. In a minute, they're going to pull the Holocaust out of the educational curriculum.
Oh, they're not going to do that because them jurors folks going to be like, no.
But here's the thing. How are they going to be able to stop it? They done did it to the black people. I imagine the Indians are going to be next. It's going to create a rabbit hole. And that's what I'm saying.
A false history, like the white folks never did anything wrong.
And that's a lie. Y'all came up here and stole the whole country from people who was already over here. And said, we discovered something. I don't understand why this is a thing. I do not. There are people saying that the U.S. history has a history of racism. Kids need to learn about it. And then they say, ain't no racism except from teaching about it. You got those difference of opinions, and they feel like, well, kids don't need to see these images of what people did because they're going to think that police officers are like this in real life.
They are.
We still got George Floyd's and Breonna Taylor's and Michael Brown's. We still got Trayvon Martin's. We still have these people who those deaths have not been avenged.
Yeah.
Yeah, they locked up Derek Chauvin or whatever. It wasn't he get to get out and see some grandkids, I guess, when he gets out of jail. But here's the thing. That's only one. Right now, Ahmaud Arbery's case right now, they only chose one black juror. One black juror. Everybody else white. I'm hoping and praying that those white people they saw the video. These people literally hit this man with a car and shot him dead. And this is okay. This is the country that we live in. And so they're saying that it should not be taught in schools. Now, do I think there should be age appropriateness that goes with it? Absolutely. There absolutely should be age appropriate things taught to the kids. I agree with that. But I believe that teachers are capable of rising to the occasion. This man lost his job as a result of teaching about racism and how it affected our country and how it affects it. And systemic racism still takes place to this day.
It surely does.
It does. You have the haves and you have the have-nots. And
where's the
there
lie?
are very few of us that are in the have category, and there are a lot of us, many of us, that are in the have-not category, that are scraping to get to where we need to be a part of this American dream. We're going to talk about the American dream or the lack thereof in another episode. Another article that I'm going to mention is why a lot of people are not going back to work. We're going to talk about that at a later date. But I just feel like this is something that we have control over, that we can teach. And let me also say this, parents, Black parents, y'all, we have a responsibility to educate our kids. Definitely educate our kids on what it is that's right, what's wrong, indifferent, all of that. We have that responsibility to educate our children, but white people have the responsibility too. And y'all know our history. You absolutely know it. In Idaho, I think it's Idaho. I could be wrong. It might not be Idaho, but Idaho, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama. There are some more southern states. There are other states that have legislation on the table that's going to come against them teaching about Black history, in essence, in the school system. And that, again, that's going to open up a door for you guys to teach white is rights, and they've never done anything wrong. That's how I feel. Black people are over exaggerating, and they need to get over it. But the systemic racism has us at a point. We just talked about Dubai earlier. If Black people were on the same level systemically as their white counterparts, we would have, baby, listen, if I'm rich, why I got to shoot you?
Right.
Why I gotta try to steal?
Right.
Why I gotta try to get your car?
Correct.
Rob you for your jewels.
Right.
Why do I have to do that? And I'm not saying that we are committing crimes against white people. That ain't what I'm saying at all. But if we had, I feel like, let's start with reparations. Let's start with reparations for those people in Oklahoma, in the Greenwood community, whose livelihood and legacy was burned to the ground. To the ground. And you tell me that, are we just making this up in our heads? I totally and completely disagree. Totally and completely disagree. That teacher lost his job eventually. He had to appeal it, went through appeals. He lost his job. They said it was a result of him not doing what he was supposed to do, but he had never had any hello, Angel. Had never had any bad remarks against him at all, period. He taught, and his students loved him, and they enjoyed what it was that he did on a regular and consistent basis. So I don't understand why that man lost his job. I do understand this, is that racism did happen, the civil rights movement happened, slavery happened. There is no reason why we need to remove that from the curriculum. I don't think so. I don't. Wendy?
Okay. I'm gonna continue to teach me and mine about Black history.
It's our responsibility to do that.
It is our responsibility now. And not only that, it's my responsibility to learn more about my Black history. Absolutely. So I can teach more. Okay. Because this right here is nothing but some bull crap.
Right. Yeah. So what the politicians are doing, what the politicians are doing, I think, is running a race based off of this concept. And there are a lot of people that feel like
And
I did hear that they in Cincinnati, they assigned certain council members won the election because they were against critical race theory.
and then here's my thing. The okay, you know, in the Bible they say the people perish due to the lack of knowledge.
Absolutely.
So they know if we don't know our history,
Absolutely.
we can perish. And
Yeah.
they're trying to keep us down.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
need for us to come together like the cookout did on Big Brother.
Let's talk about that real quick because I my mom mentioned this earlier today when we were in church service. We have a community of the Latino community, the Mexican community, who they will live in a house together. Now, keep in mind, I love my mom. Lord knows I do. But listen, I can't live with my mama. I can't. I can't. However, as a concept, as a family, let's work together. Let's pull together. Let's make sure that everybody has the resources so they can get their own. So, the Mexican community pull their resources together. They all live in the same house. Seem like they stay on top of each other. They carpool to work back and forth.
Yep.
They
Yep.
pool their resources and they're
Yep.
together. So if Hector wants his own house and wants to start his own family, we're gonna make sure that Hector has all the resources and everything.
And they will help build Hector's
They're
house.
gonna build his house. They'll make sure that he has enough money saved up. He has everything set up to where he can get his house. And then they're gonna work and pull their resources to do that for the next person. The African community is a lot like that. They, they move over here, they go to school, they stay with the auntie, they stay with a relative. They're all pretty close. They're close knit. They got their community, and they do that. The African American community, we
don't
have
do that.
I got mine. You got to get yours. That's the attitude and the concept that we have. I don't have a problem with if I'm at a certain place. I don't have a problem with bringing my brother or sister up to where I am. I don't have a problem with that at all.
In fact, my son don't. If I got it once I get myself together and get my house and stuff, my son don't have to leave until he's financially able to leave.
And that's the other thing. So let's talk about that real quick. We're getting a little off subject, but that's fine. My son right now is in college. He's 19 years old. He's not going anywhere until I feel like financially he's able to do what he needs to do for him. A lot of people feel like that's crippling. I don't feel that that's crippling because whose idea was it for us to struggle? You know what I'm saying? So, Hey, son, we got a roof over the head, the lights on, you got the internet, you could do your homework assignments. I want you to be as successful as possible. You don't have to have a job. He decided he wanted a job, so he got one. He's getting ready. He stopped his job when it's time for school to start. He's starting another one in his field, working on campus, which I'm excited about in December. So he doesn't have to work. I'm not requiring that he brings me any of his money for resources or anything.
But you know what? This is what I would do. This is what I'm going to do. When my son starts working, I told him, I'm going to need $25 towards your phone bill. Just so he knows what it's like to pay a bill.
Right. So
but you know what I'm going to do? Mm-hmm. That $25 is going to go to his savings. He's not going to know about his savings.
Right.
When I get my house and he's living with me, I'm going to need you to pay me at least $125 on towards the mortgage. And then
my mother did that.
And then I'm going to put that money in his savings. So by the time he's like, Mom, I'm ready to move out, you got so much money in your savings, honey.
That's a good idea. We don't do that and we don't help build. We've been taught to do the struggle thing with our kids. Just push them out in the world when they turn 18 and they'll be okay. And that's not okay. That's not okay at all. So I'm not requiring that he moves out. Now, if he decides he wants to go stay on campus next semester or the semester after that, I have a problem with it. Mom, I want to get an apartment. I ain't got no problem with that. But it's not me pushing them out and saying, hey, you 18, you got to get out. That's not, I don't believe in that. And a lot of cultures don't believe in that either. You know, they make sure that their kids are straight and they're all right. I think that's the best way to have a successful situation or successful kids in the country or moving forward. This American dream is not something that's not attainable. It's just something that we don't work together to obtain. Um, but we've had some things that has happened to us in our past that has caused us to deal with racism in a
Right.
way that has caused us the thing with Greenwood, the thing here, the race wars and riots that they've had over the years that have destroyed. You know, you told us to get our own. We're lazy. We don't want to do anything. But when we get our own, you come and you take it from us. And I think that in spurts or gradually, I think there's an agreement that can be made to let the people know that, hey, no, it's not because the fact that you're white people don't like you or that you're not worthy, but your ancestors did some really crappy things that has caused us a race of people to still be bogged down.
And then another thing they're probably afraid of, if our younger generation knows what the older generation was doing, they may be like, no, we don't want this to continue.
Right.
We want to make this world better for everybody.
And you know what? It's funny because the mayor, you remember the documentary that we watched on Greenwood, that we talked about on one of our shows. The mayor had never heard of that story. That was odd because he said it was not taught in the history books in Greenwood, in that community in Tulsa. It was never taught. It wasn't taught in my high school. He said, until I became the mayor, I did not know that this happened. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That he never knew. He had no clue that took place or happened. That's what's going to happen. And I think here's the thing. I think if you give, I think they don't give children enough. Children are very intelligent, so they know right from wrong. They know, hey, kids come in here colorblind. The All Lives Matter people, like, they come in here colorblind. If you tell them that there's such thing as color, they know that they're a different color than the other people. That's crazy.
Right.
I'm white, you black. I know that. They're not
right.
Yes, I believe that children are born colorblind as far as I think racism is taught. I do wholeheartedly believe that racism is taught. We're going to be doing a review of Colin in Black and White tomorrow night on It's On. And
yes.
You're going to see in that film or in that piece how even his own parents that were raising him, they didn't understand a lot of things about the Black culture. They didn't understand when people came at Colin differently, where they were asking if they were okay, but they weren't asking if he was okay. That it was a problem. They thought it was a racism type of situation. It was really racist, and it was swept under the rug. But like, you were willfully ignorant of the things that this baby was going through, and you know he Black, and you raised him. So just that sort of thing, that we have to understand, we have to realize this is something that affects us, and people think like this in real life. And this baby grew up in California, so if you imagine if he grew up in Alabama or
oh Lord,
in Georgia, or grew up in Tennessee, how much different that would have been. It could have ended. It could have gone in a different direction. And so that's the thing that I feel like we get away from. It's not something that we talk about in context, and it's not something I'm sure later on down the line he had a conversation with his mom and dad and explained to them, hey, so This is how this made me feel when I was growing up. These are some of the things that I went through. And let me say this to you guys, and then we're gonna wrap up. If you watch Colin in Black and White, you're gonna learn that he didn't understand everything, but he understood a lot. And so he didn't just start by kneeling for the flag because he was no longer the first string quarterback. That's not how that went. A lot of black people I heard say that, and that's not it. The whole thing with the NFL, the poster child for their organization and the football team is the white quarterback. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. That's the truth.com. Okay. When they have a good black quarterback, there are not many franchise players or team players that are black. Of course, we got Dak Prescott, we got Russell Westbrook, but you don't have many black quarterbacks that are out there. This baby is an awesome quarterback. He also is a running quarterback. So when you bring in a coach that's coaching differently, you're supposed to, as a coach, make your plays around your franchise player, your star player, which at the time was Colin Kaepernick. It didn't work out. The coach did not want to do that. So he ended up being the second string player. Meanwhile, while he's dealing with all of this stuff, he's understanding. I'm back to where I was when I was in middle school, when I was in high school. That little uncategorized racism that was swept under the rug. This is what I'm dealing with right now. So it took him back to the place where he came from. So I urge everybody to watch Colin in Black and White. It's really, really good. Make sure y'all check that out. We are going to be reviewing it tomorrow on its own. Check us here 7-ish. It's probably going to be at 7 o'clock. But 7-ish here.
8-ish. 8-ish.
Is it going to be 8-ish? You got something to do? Oh, okay. Well, 8-ish. That's what it's going to be. Make sure y'all tune in. Right here on the Size of Official Podcast YouTube channel. So make sure y'all check that out. We're also going to be talking about a lineup of different shows. Let's wrap up. Critical race theory. We're going to have a part 2 to this conversation because this is a bigger debate. And I'm going to have some people on here that can contribute to the conversation. We want those contributions made. I want to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. So I want to talk to multiple people about this. So we're going to probably have a roundtable real soon talking about critical race theory. Maybe before the end of the year, if not, probably early next year. But we are going to have this discussion again. I want to make sure you guys are a part of it. We'll get some statistics together as well about racism and systemic racism so that we can put it out and share with you guys. Wendy, do you have anything today for us?
Okay, it's gonna be. I'm just gonna make it quick. People, okay. When you order Uber Eats,
oh my God, this is every week.
It's gonna be every week. If you don't, if it's taking a long time for your order to get picked up, it is because you're only tipping like $1, $2, and especially if you got that $99.99 monthly pass where you don't have to pay delivery fee. Delivery fee is how we get paid.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to pay a delivery fee, you need a tip. Because I have been talking to drivers and they specifically say, if we see something $2, $3, even $4, we don't pick it up.
Because I just learned about that. I always tip. And I'm tipping more, but I didn't know that they didn't pass on. Because yeah, we get free delivery because we pay that every month. But if enough people pay that every month, Uber should be paying y'all. That's how I feel. They should be passing on the money because it's enough people paying that $9 thing for Dash Pass. Well, for me, it's Dash Pass because I don't do Uber Eats. I do DoorDash. But if I'm paying $9.99 a month, I'm not going to pay, and it doesn't allow us to pay a delivery fee because we get free delivery. So unless there are certain restaurants, now there are certain restaurants that don't honor the Dash Pass. Let me also say that on our end. I'm not sure about Uber Eats, but for DoorDash, certain ones don't honor the Dash Pass. But I will say that with that, I feel like the company should pass on something to you guys as a result of that. Because I don't think a lot of people know that.
So one morning, last Saturday morning, I was doing Uber Eats because I needed to get my nails done. And that Friday night I couldn't work because I had an event to go to.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, did you see all these comments? Um,
Oh, I didn't see that.
um, and so go ahead if you want to put that up.
Okay.
Um,
And Angel, that's fine. But I don't think they should never be taught about it. I don't think it creates racism. I think it creates understanding and knowledge. And the reason why I say that is because, and like I said, I do believe that at 5 it's too young for them to see things like, the people getting water hosed down for protests and all that stuff. I do definitely feel like that is too young to learn about the heavy stuff. But I think there are certain ways that can be taught. And yeah, what they did was wrong, and that's absolutely correct. But again, I think there are ways that can be taught for a 5-year-old, and
right,
I think there are teachers who are trained as teachers that can teach in a way that a 5-year-old understands.
right.
And let me also say this: I cannot remember what the study was, and I can't remember the lady who did it. It's gonna come to me, but I don't
I know
know.
who you're talking about, the older white lady.
In the 1960s, she did the study with the
Mm-hmm.
children in the classroom where she got the doll study. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those kids were like in the first or the second grade when she did that study. And all
Mm-hmm.
she was doing was teaching them, and she did it in a different way. She didn't do it in a way that said, hey, these people hated these people, and this is what happened. She didn't do it in that way. She did it in a way that taught them, and so they understood what was wrong with that frame of mind and that frame of thinking. So I encourage people, if you got young kids, let them see that it's online. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Uh, Pull it up and let them see it, because then that teaches them. Yeah, you can teach them to love all day, but if they're in a point or a place of privilege, sometimes things get swept under the rug and they don't fully understand what's going on.
Right,
So that's just my thought process behind it. And I'm not telling people how to deal with their kids. I'm definitely not doing
right,
that. But I do think that it needs the history, the Black history, you can't teach the Black history without the racism aspect of it, because that was
right,
that enslaved us for so many years and still has us in certain areas bogged down as a community and as a culture. So that's all I'm saying is I feel like there are different ways for it to be taught, but I think it's being demonized in the
right,
and in politics. I think it's being demonized because I've always been taught that it was Black history, and the history is basically with the Holocaust. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? The Holocaust, that was very, very brutal. What they did with the Jewish community, the concentration camps and that sort of thing. And they don't teach that. It's not that they're not taking that out of the. I think eventually they're going to end up taking it out of the equation, but they haven't taken it out of the equation yet. It's the same concept. Hitler discriminated against Jewish people because they were Jewish, and they teach that in school. That's being taught. Sexism is
yeah.
another thing that they're looking to take away from. Um,
Mm-hmm.
those are things that they're looking to take away from the equation.
But
So
we're gonna talk more about that.
we are because we're gonna
Yeah.
have an episode on it. Um,
But what I wanted to say about the Uber Eats thing on last Saturday, not yesterday, but the last Saturday, I was at Chick-fil-A, and
mhm.
me and this other guy, he's Uber Eats too. He was waiting. He said he got an email from Uber Eats saying that if you take 90% of the the trips that are given, because we have a choice if we want to accept or decline the trip,
Absolutely.
the right. If we do 90%, then they're gonna make sure that we get up to $18 an hour or something like that for for doing all that. I haven't received that email, and they know it's a problem.
Yeah, they know it's a problem, but they could just pass that money because they make. I know they make a buku of money, so
Hmm.
I feel like they can pass it on to you guys. Cause that
Yeah.
that ain't how it was explained to me. You know what I'm saying? As far as the trips and the delivery, I never knew that until have another girlfriend that does the Uber Eats, and I didn't recognize that until that period of time. So yeah, I don't have anything that's bugging me this week.
Okay.
I'll probably have some next week.
Yeah.
All right, upcoming events. We have the Shy Glass Hour here. We're out of Memphis, so we have an event every other Wednesday night. Of course, for the holidays, we're only going to have one show for November and December. November show is Daryl Wayne. He is coming. Super excited about this artist. At Smooth Living, 1263 Winchester Road, Memphis, Tennessee, 38116. The admission is $10 to get in. We're gonna have Flo the butler on with drinks. Producer Chick is the host. Make sure y'all check it out. We're gonna have massages as well. Food is amazing at Smooth Living. You guys should come and check it out if ever you're in town. But make sure you come out and support this show. It's a really, 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 really good show. Wendy, do you have anything coming up?
I will be having I'm gonna talk more about this next week, but I am gonna have a holiday open house on the 28th. That's why I can't do the show. So I will talk about that more next week.
Okay, we'll talk about that. All right, Wendy, tell us how you can be reached.
I can be reached on Facebook, Wendy Edinburgh Smith, Instagram at VLux76, and of course, you can always shop with me on my website, www.marykay.com/WEDINGBOURGH.
Gotcha. You guys, the third of our trifecta is Heather B. She's not with us today, but you guys can follow her at Heather's Passion Academy on Facebook and on YouTube. And you also can go to her website to get or schedule an appointment for your sexuality coaching needs, as well as your bedroom candy paraphernalia. I think that's the right way to say that. At www.HeathersPassionAcademy.com. All right, and then you guys can reach me on Facebook at Vicskeyas Faith More, Instagram at Vicskeyas Faith, or Twitter at Vicskeyas Faith. Make sure y'all hit me up, follow me, like, share, all that good stuff. And then you can contact us here at the Size Up on Facebook, the Size Up 2102 at Instagram, on YouTube. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, hitting the notification bell on the Size Up Official Podcast on YouTube, as well as emailing us if you want to be a guest on the show. You got any show ideas? You want us to do a new segment? Anything like that? Hit us up at the Size Up 2102 at gmail.com. And you can listen to our podcast, which I'm going to start working on downloading episodes real soon. I was waiting on my laptop, but I don't think that's coming anytime soon. On Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and SoundCloud. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. We're super excited. Make sure you guys are back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock for It's On, where we review television shows and movies over there. But it will be back here at the Size Up Official Podcast channel on YouTube. So make sure y'all are following us and you check it out. So thank you guys for joining us today. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the response and the replies. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.